Hello and welcome back to the couch. We saved you a seat. My name is Luke.
And I'm Emily. Hello and welcome back. Tonight, we're getting into it, mans and women's. We are getting into chapters 40 through 42 of A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas.
And if you stuck with us this long, you know the drill. You can follow along by clicking the videos in the YouTube playlist. You can also support the channel via joining the membership, which is about $2, or and it buys us a cup of coffee or an extra high five because it costs money when you deal with Emily. Just kidding. Not really. Or you can use Amazon links to maybe purchase a book or whatever. They're in the description below. Just keep watching. Tell us what you think of this content, and we're just going to keep this going. But first, we're going to jump, before we get into it, we're going to jump to the chapter by chapter kind of review or reaction or whatever. Emily's going to lead it. Go ahead, dude.
All right. To recap,
we got this.
In summation, tonight we're covering chapters 40 through 42, where diplomacy stalls, history gets rewritten, and the Night Court reminds everyone exactly who they are. We start off with the mortal queens, who trust absolutely no one and refuse to hand over their half of the Book of Breathings. Rhys tries truth, telling the real story of Jurian, Miriam, and Jacon, but when that fails, he makes a dangerous call. If they want trust, he'll show them Valaris. The night before heading to the Court of Nightmares, Rhys finally tells Feyre the truth about Mor, how her family brutalized her, nailed her to a border, and left her to die. It's devastating, and it explains everything about Mor's fire and the Night Court's loyalty. The next day, they're attacked with ash arrows on the road, proof that the war is already creeping closer. And then comes the performance. At the Court of Nightmares, Rhys and Feyre put on a public, scandalous show to distract the crowd, while Azriel steals the Veritas orb from Keir. When Keir insults Feyre, Rhys takes the opportunity to break both of his arms slowly, publicly, and with obvious enjoyment. These chapters are about truth, theater, and power. Who controls the story, who survives the cruelty, and who finally pays for it. So, Luke, are you ready?
Listen, no one comes to the kitchen couch for the food. Let's hit it. Here's what y'all need. Maybe an umbrella, because it's hot. This shit was hot, okay? Like, get some water, because you dehydrated. It was hot, dude. Are you kidding me right now? That whole scene at the end, I was just like...
I'm not kidding you.
I've been uncomfortably aroused before.
I wasn't prepared. Let me set this water down. Okay.
And so I'm not telling you when. Most of the time it's not public.
Okay.
But like it's just like it's just like one of those moments where it's like, oh, this is PDA times 11. It was awesome.
I really hope that you were not reading it on the way to the gym. Like
no,
you do a lot of times.
No, I was not. That would have been a problem. I actually, it was before I left for the gym. I was sitting there reading on the edge of my bed, and I was like, we'll keep turning the page here and keep going. The gym can wait.
You're like, actually.
you know what's cool about weights? They don't move unless you move them. So I'll just...
They'll still be there when you get there.
That's right. That's right. The performance is awesome. Retaliation's awesome. Honestly, that being the anchor of this section kind of stinks because what happens before is really cool too. But all I can think about is this like super hot scene and what led up to it. Really, going back to the beginning, we got the Queen Spice Girls. They're just the Spice Girls. It's awesome. It's awesome. That whole scene is a little bit predictable. Is that the right word? Maybe. What did you like? Because there's like an elderly queen who is the like, I imagine she's just not putting up with anyone's shit. And then there's the youngest queen who's putting up with everybody's shit.
She's the only hot one.
We talked about this, didn't we? Yesterday or the day before or whatever.
You totally called it.
I was like, yeah, there's only gonna be there's not gonna be a hot queen.
You're like, by the way, none of them are attractive, and I'm like, did you read ahead?
No, I did not. I did not. And actually, one of my favorite parts is the beginning of this section where it says, what does it say? It says, the mortal queens, which is hilarious to me. The mortal queens were a mix of ages, colors, heights, and temperature. Temperament, my bad. And temperament. And I was just like, boy, that's probably true. In real life, forever. Just that's actually just fact. The mortal queens are that.
They are that. But don't you love how that is such a stark difference between like how everything else is described, which are like all the Bat Boys described as like a walking Abercrombie ad, and then we get to these mortal queens, and it's like they were queens and of all types.
Right.
Yeah,
they were boring. Yeah, yeah, they were not extraordinary. Yeah, I mean, their whole conversation was, it's just, the mistrust makes sense. The being dismissive. They're obviously trained in negotiation. They know they hold all the power. When they hear about the book situation, they're like, no, dog, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I was led to believe in the first book and in this one, up until maybe this point in the book, that the humans were like feeble in comparison. And the way these queens are talking is that the continent, which is where they live, right? The continent queens, the continent humans are formidable. Like, those are like warriors, talented. They have some power, some abilities.
That's definitely what they make it sound like in this. And I mean, they surprise even our gang. So Moore even says straight up, like, how is it that you can winnow? Like, they didn't even know that the mortal queens could winnow in. So there's definitely, they've got some tricks up their sleeve that the gang wasn't even aware of, and they're pretty much aware of everything. And Azrael's like Shadows, he's spy master. He's wicked good at figuring out stuff and knowing what's happening, and he cannot get a read on them. He's like, I don't really know what's happening there.
It's interesting. It's just, it's a cool conversation. We don't see, I mean, we have Nesta, who's a powerful human character, but we don't get much more, because like they're looked at as feeble, barely worth their own breath. And then you've got these women who are not incredible in any sort of way, holding their own with the most powerful being on the face of the planet, apparently. And his, 3 best friends who are also absolute weapons.
Right.
They don't really talk about much except for they deny it. They're like, hey, we're not going to do this.
Right.
And I love that you get the Moore conversation where she was like, I was there, Gandalf. I was there, Gandalf, 1,000 years ago. I was there
when the books were written.
Yes. Yeah. And so like they know who she is, and the fact that she's still, it's such a cool thing for me, because it would be like if you and I were hanging out and like George Washington were to walk in, it's like, oh no, but I wrote that document. I was there,
Right.
So her whole situation, I love that we got as much information about her as we did. That next section is what I really want to talk about, because I am all kinds of confused.
Which part? I mean, we find out more about like the Jurian Draken. That part? Okay.
That's been my biggest question mark about this. Like, who cares? Right? But then you find out that Feyre's long lost lineage is living on an island somewhere or something. I'm kidding. I don't know if that's true. But that was my immediate thought, was like, oh, this is Feyre's long lost lineage. Obviously, this is where she comes from.
We don't know if that's true or not yet.
No,
either.
No.
Like, even now, like, we still don't know. So
I was just like, oh, she's obviously related to these people. Okay, cool. Of course, she has an older name. Of course, like, my favorite character in the series so far, Amarantha, was like, that's a peculiar name. So we listen, Feyre's dad might even be pretty formidable, and he might actually be with them. I don't know. Either way, that's where I kind of want to jump to, is that conversation, because that's a full conversation. That's a full on ordeal here.
Yes.
Did I miss anything? No, I don't want to skip anything.
No, you didn't. That was the next part I had highlighted, so you're good. So they're talking about the humans. And so they're like, I mean, look, here's the deal. We're going to protect the ones on the continent, and the ones that are below the spring court, like, sucks for them. Like, we're out. We don't care. We don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
And that pisses Feyre off for more reasons than just the fact that her family lives there. Because she's like, really? Like, you're just going to write off loads of people that live there because you are selfish assholes?
Yep.
Not cool.
Yeah.
Not
and
cool.
even Reese like, seriously? You're gonna let a human life go just because you're not equipped? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You're planning to get equipped.
Exactly. So they try to like talk down to her, and they're like, oh, you are young, child. You have much to learn about the ways of the world. And Reese is like, do not
I'm not
condescend to her. Number one, which I'm like, oof, yes. But then also we get into it. So they say, do you think it's any simple coincidence that a human has been made immortal again at the very moment when our old enemy resurfaces? I fought side by side with Miriam in the war, fought beside her as Jurian's ambition and bloodlust drove him mad and drove them apart, drove him to torture Clythia to death, which is Amarantha's sister, then battle Amarantha on his own. Blah, blah, blah. I marched back into the Black Land with Miriam to free the slaves left in that burning sand, the slavery she had herself escaped. The slaves Miriam had promised to return to freedom. I marched with her, my friend, along with Prince Draken's legion. Miriam was my friend, as Feyre is now, and your ancestors, those queens who signed that treaty, they were my friends too. And when I look at you, I see nothing of those women in you. When I look at you, I know that your ancestors would be ashamed. Great, let's shame them more.
Right.
Okay. There is an island in a long-forgotten stormy part of the sea. A vast, lush island shielded from time and spying eyes. And on that island, Miriam and Draken still live with their children, with both of their peoples, Fae and human, and those in between, side by side. For 500 years, they have prospered on that island, letting the world believe them dead. So no one knows, before Moore says that Miriam and Draken are still alive.
I mean, yeah, we didn't know, but
nobody knew.
Yeah, which is weird. It's like kind of like, hey, we're just gonna add this here for no reason. But it's the same as what we were talking about before, where when we talked about this last time. They were like, oh yeah, Fae can life. Well, we just told the humans nothing about it. And I was like, all right, I don't know that I like that. What we just did there, I was just like, all right. They're just going to add plot to the story, just to add plot to the story. All right, cool.
So it is trying to be, it's used as an attempt to say humans and Fae can live together, because it's an example of the fact that like paradise exists, right, because this is here and people are fine. Because even though Valaris is very much like paradise or whatever, it's not human and Fae living together. It's Fae. It's still just Fae.
Right, but my kind of my issue with it is like it's also a bargaining chip to try to get the humans to be a part of their situation, and it just doesn't work.
It does not work.
Humans are like, we don't care. They don't give a shit. Why are you even telling us this? We don't like this. Doesn't elevate your station to us at all whatsoever. Mm-mm. You're just some chick who is sitting in front of me.
Because it's like, again, that's great for them, but it has nothing to do with me, because they are selfish.
Well, there's a reason they're selfish.
Yeah.
Like I don't blame them for being selfish. It's just kind of a weird plot. It's just weird plot to me. Like, did Reese not think this would be a problem? The humans trusting him,
right?
Like, what are we doing here?
Again, we're reaping what we've sown for a really long time.
Yes.
So there's a reason why we've been the way we have been. There's a reason why he made the choices that he's made, and he's totally fine to be the villain. He doesn't care. He doesn't. If it's like, fine, make me your villain. He's fine with it. But this is where it is coming back to bite him in the ass. And so
it's beginning
to,
yes, okay.
That's my point. It's beginning to come back to bite him in the ass because this is now back to back, 2 separate situations that he's gotten fucked because he's backed into a corner that he created himself from a long history of what he's had to do to keep Valaris safe.
Well, he's got, like I said, he's got equity that he's not willing to give up. And it's equity actually no one knows about. It's not even that he's not willing to give it up. No one knows about. So, and if he has the capacity, he had up until this point had the capacity to keep it safe, right? So it's just weird. I was just like, okay, I guess we'll see where this is going. Like I said, it wasn't something that I immediately remembered when I finished reading. You know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, well, we have this extra plot point that I guess we'll just cross this bridge when we get there. Situation. It didn't really impact the story other than tell us as the reader or something. So I'm kind of just waiting for more to come out because, to be honest with you, there was nothing to gain for the reader.
Yeah.
Other than this could be a thing. We don't even know.
Right. And it's going to continue to compound. More and more things come together. But if you just remember, because here's the thing, you don't really give a crap about their backstory because you don't know why it affects you yet.
No, I don't know why it affects anyone. Right.
So on the reread, it's been a lot better for me because same thing. I was like, I don't care. I'm like the human queens at this point. Like, I don't care.
I don't care.
Nobody cares. So I'm like, get back to the plot.
Get back to the plot.
So I get it.
I do like that, you know, like Moore herself is heralded as a good person, right? She freed slaves. People all over the world know that who this thing is. I'm curious to know where her power comes from, but we can talk about that later because I still haven't really said anything about why she's so formidable. But we can because there's nothing there yet. Yeah,
I mean, the most that we've really seen and heard is we know that she has power over truth because of her family lineage and such.
Yeah.
So part of her truth, I mean, I think of it like Wonder Woman, like the last of truth.
Fair.
You know, that kind of thing. But that we haven't really seen an example of that. We just know that she is like a strong, awesome warrior. But we haven't really, and we know based on battle stories and history that she's a dog.
Oh,
as you like to say.
A dog.
A dog. But we have not actually witnessed it with our own eyeballs or mind balls.
Yeah. Either way, it's a cool scene. There's a lot of backstory. There's a lot of it felt so fast because, and also, okay, spoiler alert, the queens didn't give up the book, obviously. And so, and it's an issue of trust. And so,
and the issue is not with the humans, it's not with Feyre or the Morgan, it's with Rhysand.
Yeah.
They're like,
obviously.
Actually, oh, fuck you. No.
I mean, to everyone in the universe, in this universe, Rhysand is the new villain after Amarantha. Yeah. So, and as we can tell, obviously, I understand why they think this dude is the villain of the story. Which leads us to our next part. So,
yes,
I thought, like you were talking about, oh, we're just going to give up Valaris, like show him a picture or something. It'd be funny if they held up a Polaroid. This is the Night Court, the Court of Dreams. It's like anyway, it didn't. Oh, for kids out there who don't know what a Polaroid is, back in the day, there was this machine that you used to take cameras. It was like yay big. And you would push a button, and then it would snap an image of what was in front of it, and then actually spit out a sheet of paper that was relatively thick and shimmery, and it was a picture. And you could look at it.
I will say most of the kids know because it's back. Polaroids, as well as disposable cameras, are back. They're headed back analog. I know. I'm telling you. I know.
By the way, I have some disposable cameras at my parents' house that I know I took all the pictures of them, and I have no idea what they are of. So
please get them developed. Please.
Gonna have to. Prom 2004 is gonna be dope. Yeah. No, so we get back to the Night Court, and Rhysand's kind of down on himself. He's not super happy, and of course Feyre does her thing a little bit. They get back to the Night Court. They have a conversation. They're like, "Hey, we need to get this truth-seeking orb to do this thing, and then we need to do this thing, and then we need to do full-on fantasy quest bullshit. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm. Nope, it's all the things you love. So there you go.
No.
So they're trying to. Then you get more backstory. What?
I just was like,
You get more backstory because Feyre's like, okay, now why do we give a shit about these people? Can you catch me up? So we get a little bit more about this Dracon and Miriam situation in this chapter as well.
yeah.
So we can tell it's like a big deal, but we still are just struggling to care about it.
So you don't know who Dracon and Miriam are?
I do.
Okay. Cool. So we've got Calinthia, or whatever her name is.
Clithia, yeah.
I almost said a vulgar
Oh
word.
no. I know.
No, it's right there.
I know.
And we have Dracon and Miriam.
And Jurian.
And Jurian.
Mm-hmm.
And Calinthia was Amarantha's sister. Who was in love with Jurian.
Mm-hmm.
But Jurian was in love with Miriam.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out here that Dracon was like Jurian's BFF and was sleeping with Miriam behind Jurian's back. And so it's like a full-on like...
was a slave, remember?
Yeah.
So Miriam was given as a wedding gift by the queen to her betrothed, a foreign Fey prince named Dracon. He was horrified and let Miriam escape. So she was a slave. She was given to this prince, and he was like, I don't like slavery. You can leave. And she leaves. So, fearing the queen's wrath, she fled through the desert across the sea and was found by Jurian.
Mm-hmm.
She fell in with his rebel armies, became his lover, and was a healer amongst the warriors.
Yeah.
Until a devastating battle found her tending to Jurian's new Fey allies, including Prince Dracon.
Right.
So, turns out Miriam had opened his eyes to the monster he planned to wed. He broke the engagement, allied his armies with the humans, and had been looking for the beautiful slave girl for the last 3 years. Jurian had no idea that his new ally coveted his lover. He was too focused on winning the war, on destroying Amarantha in the north by seducing Amarantha's sister and viciously murdering her. As his obsession took over, he was blind to witnessing Miriam and Dracon falling in love behind his back. But it was not behind his back because Miriam ended it before she ever laid with finger on Dracon. So She did it the right way, but Jurian's obsessed with her.
The right way.
And the right way, which is like end it before you start something else. But Jurian is still obsessed with her.
It's a King Arthur Lancelot situation. We get it.
It is.
Yeah.
Also, he's still obsessed with her. We already know that. It's been mentioned like 4 times.
But also, like, Miriam is like a halfling.
She was the only other person. So Miriam is one of 3 made individuals, which is Miriam, Feyre, and Amren.
You're right.
Okay, so Miriam was the first human to become Fey, to be granted immortality.
So earlier in this book, they're like, oh, this other person named Miriam, what happened to them? And Morgan's like, they're good. Don't worry about it. I hear from them every once in a while. Mm-hmm. That's where this comes from. Great. Glad you plugged that back in for me, because don't read that much. So
that's why we need them, or why they become important, is because there's only 3 individuals that are made, and Miriam is the first. She was the first human to be granted immortality, being made into something else. Mm-hmm. But they made the distinction that Miriam is still human. She's just human and immortal. And Feyre is the first person that was a human that became Fey.
Yeah, thank you. So this is where we have this conversation in this story, is right there.
That's literally, literally Feyre's like, wait a minute, I remember these names, but who the fuck are these people?
Right, I would be the same way.
And we're like, thank you, Feyre, because we forgot too.
So, yeah.
And that's why we have this little awesome exposition.
300 pages ago. Like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. Cool. So what's next in the story? Because we don't just suddenly go off to the Court of Nightmares.
No. So what we have to do is we talk about basically that Reese is the reason why they don't believe in anything, and they cannot, like, a couple of different options are thrown out about what they could do. And they all get shot down because they're like, no, even us just talking about this right now might be enough for it to, like, mess with the spell on the book. So the only way we can do it is to play by their own rules and show them Valaris.
Yeah.
But they don't want to actually take them there because they're like, no, bad things would happen if we were to take them, so we can't do that. So they're going to show them using the orb, which I totally think about. I know you already said Gandalf earlier, but I think about like the orb, the eye, the scene stones in Lord of the Rings. That's basically what it is.
Palantir. I think that's what they're called, Palantir.
So they have one of those, basically, that Moore's family, it's a heirloom through her family because of the power of truth and all the things.
They have to just go get the PowerPoint projection so they can project it onto the wall. I got it. Yeah.
Basically. But her daddy, Kier, which
hilarious individual, by the way. I like hilarious in the best way. Like, this guy sucks. Like, he's like, every time they mention or talk to this guy, I'm like, you suck.
He's like terrible. A caricature of, like, just annoying, groveling, snivelly yuckiness. I don't like him.
Yeah, he's like the living embodiment of throw up.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
You suck so bad, bro. You sent your own daughter to be a fucking fuck you. Yeah. I hate you.
What a barf bag, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So they have to steal this orb from here.
It's so funny to me.
Because nobody can know what's going on. Because this is like secret squirrel shit right now. Like, nobody can know what. Nobody can know what we're doing.
Right.
So he can't just be like, hey, Kier, give me that orb that's like a family heirloom of yours. Because then Kier's going to be like, why? Mm-hmm. But, like, why though? And the last thing that we want is for Kier to know about Valaris.
Well, like, also Kier has friends.
Right.
So, like, we'll go into that. But Kier's got friends. Anyway, so we're going to go steal this orb from Kier. And we've hatched this plan. And before we leave, though, we have a little moment between Rhysand and Feyre. And Rhysand's like,
I might want you to come.
I might not want you to go. And she's like, bitch, you will not trap me in this castle. And he's like, no, it's not like that. I just don't want you to see what I have to become in order to complete what we're trying to do here. And she's like, you just, some transparency is probably okay. You can just tell me. It'd probably be okay. And he was like, really? And she's like, we've already been through some shit. I'm sure it'd be fine. Mm-hmm. You know, like, we're it's kind of like BFFs who sleep together. It's like, we've already shared. It's fine. We already know. That's actually kind of the energy
basically, she's like, you've already done this. Like, you've already seen me mostly naked and, like, made me give you a lap dance already. Like, I've already done it. So at least now I don't hate you while I'm doing it.
And she's already seen him be evil.
Right.
So there's all this, like, I need to protect everyone situation that Rhysand has with his, like, brain power. And then she's like, yeah, you don't fucking have to. I don't know what you're doing here. Like, I can help you run this trick. And so then Rhysand's like, sure, we can go. So they winnow pretty far into the other part of the Night Fort. And I was looking at the map. They get pretty far. They don't get all the way to the Court of Dread or whatever. Yeah.
So that's where they also tell that night after he's like, I don't know if I want you to go, is when they talk about more. So do you want to say anything?
Yeah, let's do hit it. No, hit it.
So you find out that, because she basically is like, so what's the deal? Like, why does Moore, like, hate the Hewn City so much? And he's like, oh, okay, I guess it's about time that you knew the situation there. So Moore, we already knew that, because Moore already told us that she had a lot of power. And instead of that being a turnoff, all of a sudden everybody's, like, trying to get her married to their son so that they can breed her power into them, because And she doesn't want to do that. She's really does not want to do that. So her daddy, like, pairs her up with Eris.
Not
who
her.
is Lucian's brother.
You said her daddy. No, her father. Her daddy
You're right.
might be somebody else. We haven't figured that out yet.
You're right.
Her father.
So, let's go back.
Thank
Her
you.
actual father.
You said that like this. Her daddy. You said
No,
it.
I said it like her daddy. Like her daddy. Not like her daddy. There's a difference.
I believe it is a mixture of the two. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So, point taken.
Dang.
I hear you. Let's go back.
My father.
Her father, who art in the hewn city.
Ah, here be thy name. Yes.
So, her father basically sells her off to Baron, the Autumn Court High Lord's son, Eris, who's Lucian's big brother.
Yeah.
Okay. And they are shitty. We already know they're shitty. We don't like them.
They're
And
the
so
rednecks,
more.
I think we already talked.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
I don't think that. You think that, to be as a reminder. So, basically, your girlfriend Moore is supposed to like go be with Eris, and she doesn't want to do that. So much so that she's like, I need a favor, Cassian, good buddy of mine. I need you to fuck me so that I'm no longer pure, and can you do that? And he's like, yes.
You mean the most beautiful woman in all the land?
He's
What's
like,
the decision?
I mean, if it'll help.
Just once? Are we talking about? Do you need a prescription?
If it'll help, I will gladly serve and service. So
Here is your script for vitamin D.
yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, all of it's totally valid. So, anyway, she specifically picks Cassian as well because he's a bastard. And so they knew that would be bad. It wasn't going to work out.
And then the out of court people were like, you trollop!
I mean, basically, they're like, cool. Well, we don't want that whore anymore.
Ew.
Ew.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, long story short, Eris refused to marry her, and then because she was sullied by a lesser fae, quote unquote.
It's so stupid. I love
He
it.
said-
It's just so dumb.
He said he would now sooner fuck a cow than her. That's literally like what it says.
Doesn't he say sow? S-O-W?
He says a sow, yeah.
Yeah,
He
I know,
says,
for sure.
yeah, then he would sooner fuck a sow. So
Horrible thing to say. And then they nail some shit to her and put her in the woods, which is horrible.
then, yeah, they literally then dump her on, so her family then like nails into her womb, into her abdomen,
Yeah.
a note that's like, well, you can have her, and dumps her on the Autumn Court's border and says that like you're Eris's problem now. So Eris left her for dead in the middle of the woods, and Azrael found her a day later, and then they all basically had to hold each other back from going to both the Hewn City and the Autumn Court and just killing all of them for what they've done.
And they would have.
Yeah.
They would have. They were like, oh, brighter minds are here. But they were probably holding her back too. Here's the real shit though. If she is as, I've overused this word, formidable as they say, they're not just gonna leave her out and to die. That's not a thing. That would be dumb. Like, that's petty beyond belief. And if so, she's either super, super powerful, they just don't know it, or they're way, way stupid.
Yeah. Which, I mean, when you meet Kier, it's hard to know. It's hard to know.
Buddy, I hate that guy so much. It makes me laugh. Like, I can't help it. It's like, I hate you so much.
I know. So it's hard to know. You'll find out more as we go along.
Great. Anywho.
Find out more about more.
More games.
So that brings us to chapter 42.
Wow, jeez, so much happened. 42, we're getting hot. We're getting hot.
42, we go. Oh, this is my favorite.
Me too. Me too.
Aside.
Yeah, me too.
At the beginning.
Yeah,
I
because
knew that you would like this part.
yeah.
I knew you would like this part because they're talking and Reese is like starting to get a little worried about what he's about to go do. So Feyre's like gonna psych him up a little bit and do what she does best. So she's like, so we were talking, the girls were talking, and we heard that the wingspan of Illyrian warriors coincides to the size of other parts. Is that true?
I love that part. And he's like,
I mean, did they now? And so he's like, oh, you've been talking about my wingspan? Okay. And then she follows up with, they also said that Azrael's was the biggest.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. And then he follows up. He's like, well, when we get back, we can break out the tape measure.
He's literally like, well, I'll be happy to whip out the measuring stick.
We can figure this out. The confidence. Love it.
I know.
I love it.
Sexy.
I think it's the next part is actually even better because she touches his wing and he's like, look,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
We don't want to do that.
No, we don't
do that.
We will jump your bones immediately if you touch my wings, essentially. And she's like, wait, so you've never let anyone? And he's like, no. And then he's like, what do you think would happen? And he's like, you'd like to find out, wouldn't you?
And she would.
She would. Not.
She would.
She kind of would. But like here in like 15 minutes, she super would.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. So,
But then they get shot at by ash arrows.
They do. So they're literally talking about the sexiness, and like she's literally says something like, oh, it's too bad because you could probably get in some really interesting positions with wings, and like she's just like laying it on real thick. And then out of nowhere, arrows fly off and they are getting attacked. So they're ash arrows. They're coming from like everywhere. We don't really know what happens, and we still don't know now who sent them.
No, so my brain's all over the place, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because they go on a hunting party, and at first, Rosanne's like, I'm going to send you back to wherever, to Feyre. And Feyre's like, bitch, me and Azrael track better than all of you. I don't know what you're talking about. You're not going to try to protect me for no fucking reason. This isn't what we're doing here. We're going to figure this out. And Rosanne caves, even though she's afraid. She's concerned.
To his credit, right, to his credit, he's like, right.
He's like, all right, yeah, actually, that makes the most sense. Here's what we're going to do. And they essentially are on a time limit because they have to make it to the Hewn City
in 1 hour.
In 1 hour. So they spend the next 20 minutes, Azrael and Feyre spend the next 20 minutes to try to sort of figure out what they're going to do. And they start tracking. They can't find anything. Morgan shows up. They keep tracking. They kind of run out of time. They can't figure out who it was. It's essentially just several arrows that are flying through the sky. I have a couple of predictions. I'll wait till the end. We can talk about it afterward.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it says we searched, but the missed arrows had been snatched up by our attackers, and even the shadows and wind told Azrael nothing. Right. As if our enemy had been hidden from them as well. Mm-hmm. But that was twice now that they had known where Reese and I would be.
Right.
So that's
where Rosanne is like, Azrael, you need to switch out. There's leaks. There's for sure leaks. We need to double our efforts on the borders. We need to make sure the pyres on top of the mountains for the rescue fires are set, similar to Lord of the Rings. And we need to make sure that our spies are switched out.
Gondor calls for aid. Yes.
Gondor calls for aid.
Yes.
So we're getting ready to hop into the Hewn City. Do you mind if we jump into it?
No, we're there.
Great. So like the way that Moore struts into this city, I was already kind of turned on at that moment because I just imagine like, I know she's a blonde, but I see her as a brunette. I'm so sorry. I just do.
Yeah, she's for sure a blonde, but okay.
For sure a blonde. But I can't think of who she would be if she was a blonde. Right. And we've already done a fan casting a little bit already for the first book. And so I'm trying to give me a blonde here. The chick who plays Barbie. That's a fine, super hot blonde. Whatever. What's her name?
Margot Robbie.
We could say Margot Robbie. So Margot Robbie's kind of just strutting, right? She's strutting in there, and everyone's gawking at her, and she's not giving two shits, right? Because she's the one they all know who she is, right?
Right. No, everybody knows.
And they run into the father, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And he was like, "She's like, out of my way," and just keeps walking. Like, and Feyre does such a good job of having this like plain face, like this, like, I don't even. This is below me. Why am I even here? And goes up to the throne on top of the night court, sits down. She notices that it doesn't necessarily look like what was under the mountain, but she sees where some of it was drawn from, and that it's like steampunky and evil, similar to, once again, Lord of the Rings, Moria, the Mines of Moria, the castle. Has that same kind of drive and feeling. Yeah. Much bigger and more ornate. And the soldier she thought would be ordained or would be wearing black, and they were wearing this like gray color. And I don't know, I just imagine steampunk, like lead everywhere and stuff like that, to be frank with you.
So it says, I just like the imagery of it all. So it says, into the castle beneath the mountain we strode. There were more people here mirroring about the endless halls, watching our every breath. Some looked like more with their gold hair and beautiful faces. They even hissed at her. More smirked at them. Part of me wished she'd rip their throats out instead. We at last came to a throne room of polished ebony, more of the serpents, blah, blah, blah. It was so high up, blah, blah, blah. We did... Okay. A crowd had gathered, and for a moment, I was again in Amaranth's throne room. Beautiful man stepped onto the path toward the ebony throne and more smoothly halted. I knew he was her father without him saying a word. So he is a beautiful blonde man, because they're always blonde. The worst ones are always blonde. Sorry, Luke.
It happens.
So,
rest in peace, Hulk.
He was clothed in black, a silver circlet atop his head, like he's a king of some sort. His brown eyes were like old soil as he said to her, "Where is he?" No greeting, no formality. He ignored me wholly, Feyre. Moore shrugged. He arrives when he wishes to, and then just keeps walking. She's like, I don't have time for you.
I'm not yours to answer to.
Not yours. Her father looked at me then, and I willed my face into a mask like hers, disinterested and aloof. And he surveyed my face, my body, and where I thought he'd sneer an ogle, there was nothing. No emotion, just heartless cold. So they go up and they sit on the throne, and Moore says in a voice clear and cruel and cunning, your high lord approaches. He is in a foul mood, so I suggest being on your best behavior unless you wish to be the evening's entertainment. And then this to me is like the walk-in song of like, just in a movie. I see it in my mind where he's like, you hear his footsteps before you see him. There's like a song playing that's like super sexy. Like what rock song is all of a sudden playing? It's almost like a Back in Black situation, or like,
I'm not gonna lie to you, my thoughts were like the Bulgarians coming in during Harry Potter.
Okay.
Like the like a very tribal like thing, and he's kind of just strutting while they're walking in behind him or walking in front of him. But I'm with you on a rock song. It could have been anything. It could have been like or doom 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 doom. Yeah,
yes, I love that.
Anything that's super like, so if we're talking about sexy rock songs, let's Tool. Anything from Tool. Anything where the guy's like, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So it's like that, and then he walks in. So it says before the crowd could begin murmuring, I felt him. The very rock beneath my feet seemed to tremble, a pulsing, steady beat. That's why I was on rock. His footsteps, as if the mountain shuddered at his every touch. The room went still, and then he comes in. First, Cassian and Azriel appear in the doorway as like just they're decked out.
Oh yeah.
They do not look like, so everyone's put on their costumes to come.
They're masking hard. We get it.
so hard. They all put in their costumes, so clad in battle black that hug their muscles, and then they now have like 7 ciphers. So some of the most powerful warriors get 1 siphon, and they have 7 each.
Yeah, I mean, once again, formidable. Like, they're showing off, like, we're not to be trifled with in this
They're
moment.
like, don't be trifling for sure. And then Reese comes in as well.
And Reese's actual aura is spreading through the room, and everyone can feel it.
Like shadows. Here's my shadow daddy right here. Oh, I love him like this. He's just got that like smirky, smarmy, assholey, confident, like smirk on his face. Hand in the pocket, just can't be bothered, don't give a shit kind of
The
thing.
hand in the pocket thing still, that has not come back since book 1. And it's happened a few times in book 2, but yeah. We haven't talked about it in a long time.
I don't. He does that here too, right? Or does that just happen in my mind?
He does it. He did it 2 sessions ago.
Okay.
And I don't think he did it this time, but
Okay. Yeah. So Rhysand appeared, released the damper on his power, filled the throne room, the world. It had no end and no beginning, no wings, no weapons, no sign of the warrior, nothing but the elegant, cruel High Lord the world believed him to be. His hands were in his pockets. Yes. Haha. Great. His hands were in his pockets, his black tunic seeming to gobble up the light, and his head sat on his head sat a crown of stars. So here he is. He's like, hello, hello. And he says, well, looks like you're all on time for once. Like, he's such an ass. I love it. Love it. So here we are. He walks up to her and he does the hottest book boyfriend thing ever, which is he walks up to her. His fingers were icy on my chin as he lifted her face. So he does the like.
I think it's more like this. But yeah.
It is. It's book boyfriend shit. God, it's so good.
Yeah.
I know. So there, and then he's like, welcome to my home. This is not his home, but welcome to my home, Feyre Cursebreaker. And then he leads her up to the throne with him, sits down on the throne, and sits her happy ass right on his lap.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so I thought when I was first reading, like, say Kira is standing there, or down, obviously down there, and she would be seated this way.
Mm-hmm.
But as I like she's actually seated like right in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Took me a long time to get to that point. To figure that it took me much longer than it should have, is what I mean to say. Anyway, sorry. Yep. I don't mean to interrupt.
Yep. So she is on display. And she is splayed along his lap. Yes, because that is her role tonight. So we are now understanding her role because they talked about it, but they didn't really clue us in until we're reading further. And basically perched me on his lap because she was now the High Lord's whore, who I'd become under the mountain, who the world expected me to be.
Right.
So they're like, well, if they expect it, then let's play it up. So she's sitting on his lap and they're talking out loud because they can mind speak and they do mind speak some, but they're like, it's for the show, right? So he's like, don't let it go to your head. She's like, what? And he's like, the fact that every male in here is contemplating what they'd be willing to give up in order to have that pretty red mouth of yours on them.
Yep, pretty hot.
And so she's like waiting to blush and to be like weird about it, but it never happens because she's like, you know what? I do look hot tonight.
Yeah. It just doesn't happen. It's awesome.
I accept it.
You're right.
You're right. They should be thinking about that. So hilarious. So she literally leans into it. She says, let them see that pretty red mouth and my white straight teeth. I love it. So they're sitting there, lots of things are happening. She's getting really uncomfortably turned on by the situation.
All that's happening while this is he tells the people, he's like, go play. And they just go do. And they're playing music and they're having a good time and they're kind of partying because he's back or whatever. And this is kind of the moment when Kira walks up. right? And Azriel wants to stab this thing in the chest. And he doesn't do it, thankfully. And as a matter of fact, I think probably Rhysand leaves him alive. So Azriel gets to later. Like that was like actually that was an actual thing that happened there. Anyway, he's like report. And
yeah,
he just, did it work? Did it come out right now? It didn't.
It came out pretty good. No, it's all right. It was good. Although I did like shout out. I did show my mom because my mom like low key has a little crush on you and thinks that you're like a really cute boy. She has since she came to our wedding. She's like, who's that? Anyway, so I'm showing my mom the video and she's like, oh, that was actually he did a good job.
I showed my mom the video the same, and she was like, that was so funny. I mean, not your part. I've heard you do it before. Emily was funny. I was like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, I love how our Southern mothers are doing exactly what they're supposed to do, which is like, yeah, you were whatever, but the other person that I didn't make, they were great.
Wait, they're pretty good, but you're in this picture? Yeah.
Wait, you're in this? Okay, yeah, basically. So, Kier comes up and he's like, greetings, my lord, and greetings to your guest.
So I have to say this. I've got to say this because it is one of my favorite relationships in Game of Thrones is when the Lannister father is got what's her face is this little like food server person, her little squire, when he finds her and she's like, that's a lady, and he's talking to her and they're kind of feeling each other out. Similar conversations in that scene are happening in this section. And he's like, it's me lord. And she's like, huh? He's like, it's not. No, it's my lord. No, it's me lord. If you wanna be a peasant, you have to talk like one. It's me lord. And I was like, it says, greetings, me lord. I was like, this fucking peasant. Like that's what I thought. I was like, this fucking peasant. You clown. That's when my hatred started, was right there. I was like, I hate you.
Multiple times. Like, it's not just like, oh, greetings, my lord, and then we just continue on. It's like in every sentence in the first little part here. So it's like, greetings, my lord. Yes, there is a little to report, my lord. Then he says, unless you'd like for me to select someone here, no, my lord. It's so many times.
He's making fun of him. And Rhys is kind of playing along because he's like basically dry humping this chick who's sitting in his lap. And this is the part that's awesome because the way that she describes the intimacy, fellas, if you're not reading this book, intimacy is important. It's important. You get laid a lot more if you just this section right here. If she doesn't hate being touched, there's that possibility. But this section, boys, goddamn. Anyways, yeah, because a lot of it's like, I'm not saying like fondle your chick in front of everybody. I'm just saying like there's a way to be where it's like, yo, I'm here, I'm here. And we get through a lot of the I'm here's. We do. And then we get to the end of the I here's. Yeah, go ahead.
For me, it's it's like at the bottom of like 412. And he says he's just been like touching her this whole time, just kind of like making sure that she knows he's there. And then he says this time his nose brushed the spot between my neck and shoulder, followed by a passing graze of his mouth. And I'm like reading it and I'm like, oh, like I can feel that.
Like so in real life, old girl's right here. And he's just like,
yeah. Oh God. Anyway, so she's really enjoying it, as we can see from the context clues and her narration of what is happening inside of her body, which like this is accurate. So you have not having really read anything like this before. This is written by a woman about a woman's experience. This is what happens. This is very well written and very well portrayed.
I just said it out loud to the boys. Boys, this is not.
Mm-hmm.
There is a
Yeah.
science to it. You just don't want to do it, and
Mm-hmm.
or don't want to learn about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there are so many books that are written that you could just learn a few things.
Right, and if you think
Just saying.
outside the box a little bit, there's even more opportunities. So, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's like, go get her some wine. Like, I've had enough of you. Go get some wine. Go get her some wine.
Right.
And so he like leaves, and they're having a moment where they're trying to figure out. She's just like, I don't really know where we are, what's happening. But she feels him like tense, and she kind of knows like he's really not okay with what's going on. So then she just kind of goes and like taps on his little mind and is like, hey, tap tap, let me in, I need to tell you something. And he's like, what? And she's like, you are good, Reese, you are kind, and this mouse does not scare me. Like, I know who you are, so I see you.
Ladies,
ladies,
please fucking, you got dudes, like maybe they're not doing it on purpose. Maybe you kind of need to step in there and do a thing. Anyway, sorry.
It was very sweet. I really, really liked this whole.
As a dude, I would appreciate if I'm having a rough time. Hey, I'm here, and I got you. I keep doing what you're doing if you need to, and that's totally fine. But I got you.
Yeah. So then it gets a little like to the point of no return.
Yeah, she even mentions it. Does it just not? Yeah.
It's getting to the point of no return, and
the top of 414 is my favorite because she starts hushing the part of her brain that's like whore, tramp, slut, and liar, whore, and then she's just like, you know what? I'm just going to listen to music and lean in.
Yeah. So she does. She really, really, really tries, and then she's like, I'm just going to enjoy myself and just be okay with this, because she says, I had been cold. I've been so cold, so lonely for so long, and my body cried out at the contact, at the joy of being touched and held and alive. Like, at this point, it's also been a long time because they came back from underneath the mountain and things were weird. They never really got unweird. So she's finally like letting herself lean into
like
feeling
like true intimacy. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's really liking it, and he's really liking it, and also it is the point. So they're meant to be the distraction, and so everyone is watching them. Everyone is watching this happen, and the distraction is working for everyone, for them, for everyone in the room, for us. It's all working. It's working for everyone.
Hey, let me ask you: have you ever seen a play where you're like sitting in the audience or whatever, and you see the performers kiss, and you're like, was that real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I've definitely watched a few things where I'm like,
that's not a stage kiss.
You know what? They be fucking in
they,
real life.
They can practice in the back.
Have some unsanctioned rehearsals, okay?
This is a green room situation.
Yes, it is.
Out on stage.
Although, I gotta say, like, called it. Saw some video of, like, Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster and the Music Man. I was like, they be fucking.
Yeah.
And we were right.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, I think then they start, like, making fun of Kier.
Which I love. Actually, the part that I love is says, if you become a living candle, because she actually could become so hot that she catches fire because of her power. I love that. And he's like, pipe the fuck down. If you start, this is going to get weird. If you actually have powers, then they find out.
You ruined the party for everyone.
And then the very next thing happens. Reese shifted his hips, rubbing against me with enough pressure that for a second, I didn't care about Kier or the Autumn Court or what Azrael might be doing right now to steal the orb. I was just like, yeah, all right.
Nope, it is very accurate.
And that's when it goes into the I have been cold, lonely, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And that's when, and then right after that, the stewards started getting embarrassed. and
That's when he says,
distraction.
I think he's so disgusted that he might have given me the orb just to get out of here.
Yeah. And then she says, "You and I put on a good show." Let me tell you what. If I'm in a situation and the Bonnie to my Clyde says, "Hey, we put on a pretty good show, don't we?" Because the next thing that happens to him comes directly from that line. I'm just telling you, it's nothing else. It is literally you and I said, and the way she said it says clearly, I have never heard that voice come out of me before, even in my mind. Buddy, that's
husky and sultry is how it's described.
That's the reason why he gets aroused, is because of that. Right there.
The voice that came out of nowhere?
The voice and what she said exactly. Because that means the Bonnie to his Clyde was like, hey, we're in it.
Yeah, we're doing a great job, actually. So that is accurate. And we find out just how much. Because we say, here we go. Had never heard that voice come out of me before, even in my mind. His hand slid to my upper thigh, fingers curving in. I ground against him, trying to shift those hands away from what he'd learned, only to accidentally shift into what she learned when she found him hard against her backside.
Yeah.
So at that point, she was like, well, then her brain short-circuited.
Yeah. You can see her mouth open with drool coming out. Like,
she was like, oh, hold on. This is a lot is happening right now. So every thought eddied from my head. Only a thrill of power remained as I writhed along the impressive length. We were talking about wingspan at the beginning of this chapter, so
we were talking about wingspan.
Yep. So Reese let out a low, rough laugh. Kier just watched and watched and watched. Rigid, horrified, stuck there until Reese released him, not thinking twice about why or where the spy master had gone. So this is happening. Things are happening. She turns. She's like leaning into it. She licks the column. Like she like licks it up his neck.
Like she's
just
like
leaning in.
Yeah.
She's just like leaning in. He's like doing all this stuff. And then he slid his hand a bit too high on the inner thigh and found out some secrets about how much she was enjoying this time as well. And she gets embarrassed.
A little bit
embarrassed. So it says, proof of my traitorous body. His arms tightened around me. My face burned, perhaps a bit from shame. And he sensed my focus and my fire slip. And he says into her mind, it's fine. It means nothing. It's just your body reacting. Now, here's why that's really, 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 really sad. Reese has played this part.
Right.
He has done what they are doing, except he did not have a little bit of a crush on Amarantha. He straight up was not having a good time. And he understands the feeling of shame because he did have to service her, which means things had to happen. He had to be able to.
Playful.
Yes. And so there is a certain amount of shame attached to it. He understands that more than anyone. And he is trying to tell her, like, listen, it's just your body reacting.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, so the shame comes from, like, oh, are you actually into this? Right? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, just in general.
Like he's basically saying, he's like, hey, we're still in the game here. That's just your body reacting. That's part of the game here.
He basically is like, stay with me. Like, stay with me.
And then she says, because you're so irresistible. I was like, ooh.
She's trying to flirt it out. She's attempting.
Yeah. And then she's like, and then it didn't even sound right to me. But he laughed, probably for my benefit.
And then luckily, it was about time, like, Az came in right as things were about to start, like, getting weird for them. So they kind of were able to pull back at that point because Az came in and they were like, did you get the thing? Did you get the thing? Like, yes, yes, yes. Okay, great.
Now, what would have been hilarious, by the way, is if when she felt him and then he, and she moved a little bit and he had a little bit he did the guttural laugh and she said the same thing.
It's just your body reacting. Yeah. But it happened like after that.
I know, so, but had she leaned up and said, that's just your body reacting.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Because, it is.
Because she's not who he has been before.
Right.
But when he says it, it's like, oh, that's kind of gross. Okay.
It's just kind of sad.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. It's right. Anyway.
And then it breaks the mood. Because then everybody's like, oh yeah, I forgot. And then the mood's broken.
Yeah.
But luckily, Az comes in and it's like, it's all right, we gotta go anyway. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
It's good. We gotta go. So they go, and then they're like, all right, great. Well, see you back at home, babes, because I gotta go handle some stuff over here. So Kira finally comes up, hands in the wine, does whatever. We do see a weird new power though, because it says he barely reached the dais before Rhys's power took it from him, the wine, and floated the goblet up to us.
Yeah. It's like telekinesis. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. We haven't really seen that. I mean, I guess we have because he's sending notes back and forth, but not like we haven't really seen that happen. So that's kind of neat. But he says Rhys had the same sex-addled expression on his perfect face, but his eyes, I couldn't read the shadows in his eyes. Maybe for all our teasing. After Amarantha, he didn't want to be touched by a woman like that. Didn't even enjoy being wanted like that. Yeah. So she's like, I don't know what part of it was for show. And what wasn't.
Buddy's got trauma. Let's not get weird about it.
Yeah, everybody does.
Like
so
no, but I mean, there's a reason why they're not sleeping together, and it's not because of Feyre. It's because of him.
I mean, I think there's like a myriad of reasons why.
No, true. But when you're reading here, you don't get that very much.
No, because you're in her point of view.
Right. So like for the people who are also, it's like, hey, if you're not paying attention. Buddy doesn't want to sleep with you. Like, Buddy has been used for 50 straight years. We're not doing it. Yeah. Okay. Right. I hope we're on the same page. Like, he might find her attractive, but
she fully is like, we have a good time flirting it out, but like, you clearly are not interested in me, or you would have already tried something.
Yeah. Well,
so she's like,
I think he is interested in her, but not in the way that reminds him of his experience with Amarantha. And their flirting might remind him of that.
Yeah. So
that's how I see
it. It's a very valid way to see it, for sure.
Okay.
So they leave. They're going to go back, and Rhys is going to stay and finish a few things. And so Feyre goes to walk away. Like, he kind of like pats her on the ass to be like, all right, let the adults speak now. And she goes to walk away, and Kier can't help himself because he is such an idiot.
Well, first, should I test it? Should I test it for poison?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, my lord. And Kier grovels, I would never dom to hurt you. And then that's when we get to the point, you'll get what's coming to you, whore. Hilarious line, by the way. God, I hate this guy. It's so awesome.
He's the worst. Because do you know what they obviously hate? Any woman who is okay with her sexual powers.
Obvious.
Because clearly his own daughter, he like drilled a railroad nail through her abdomen and left her on a border.
I hate
having sex.
I hate that Rhysand is the one to punish in this moment.
You hate that?
I wish it had been Feyre or Morgan or anyone more. I wish it had been.
Well, it can't be Feyre and it can't be Morgan. It has to be Rhysand.
I understand. I just hate that. Like, I would have liked the girl power shit that's happening, right? Like, if Feyre could demonstrate her power, she'd have just been like blinked behind him and like been like, "Ooh, buddy, what does it feel like to get fucked from behind?" and then stab the motherfucker.
Yeah, I hear you.
You're like, yeah, I'd love to see that. Actually, that'd be fucking awesome.
Like, thank you for putting that thought in my head.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's what I was thinking about while reading this. I was like, I wish you could just pick behind him, and shove a knife in his back, and ask him, hey, what does it feel like to be fucked from behind?
right in the kidneys. Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah. So anyway,
You thought you were gonna live forever. Ends today. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
too bad. So he says that night explodes throughout the room, and then Reese just like, oh man, he's like, apologize, and he doesn't, and so he's like, I said apologize, and so then he breaks his arm
In multiple places. Yeah,
yep.
It's wild.
Bone cracked because the steward groaned, and when another heartbeat passed, bone cracked. Kier screamed. And his arm was fractured in not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different places.
Yeah, so what I imagine is a fracture here, a fracture at the elbow, another fracture here, and then a fracture at the shoulder. And when I think of that, I think of like his arm became a question mark.
Yeah. It makes me think of like the weirdness in Stranger Things when Vecna like can break everybody's body and their body just like awfully contorts into stuff.
I've never seen Stranger Things, but what I will say is I watch enough anime to see bones broken like that, and they're not. Yeah.
Yes. So, and then another crack. So 4, and then another crack. 5, elbow disintegrated. So he broke his arm in 5 places. And then he says he begins sobbing, the tears half from rage, judging by the hatred in his eyes as he looked at me, then Reese, but his lips formed the words, I'm sorry. And after he said, I'm sorry, he broke the other arm.
Yeah. Fuck him.
Bones of his other arm splintered, and it was an effort not to cringe. And then he's like, should I kill him for it? And no one answered.
What are they supposed to say? No?
Right?
And they're not about to say yes.
Mm-hmm. He says, so when you wake up, this is my favorite part. When you wake up, you are not to see a healer. And if I hear that you do, another crack. The male shrieks, the heat, blah, blah, blah. If I hear that you do, I'll carve you into pieces and bury them where no one can stand a chance of putting you together again.
So remember we were talking about that, like, I can seek out people's insecurities and show it to them. This is pretty much the same thing.
That's basically it. And it is the hottest thing ever.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. This is as close of a who did this to you kind of trope that we can kind of get, which is that like dangerously protective, possessive kind of situation where he's like, don't talk to her like that or I will kill you. I will unalive you so hard.
Yeah, it's like, hey, don't talk to her like that. What are you going to do about it? Oh, you'll see. And then they get home and their house and their mother's house is burned down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, again, red flag in real life.
Red flag in a book, too. Let's not get weird about it. Massive red flag. There's a bunch of red flags.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
There's a bunch.
You're right. You're right.
Transparency is important in all situations here.
You're right.
I love it, though. I love it as a character choice. I actually love it.
Totally right.
I hate
totally
it.
Right.
You were here. You were there when I was like, I don't like this. This sucks.
I know.
And I'm like, no, I kind of love it.
Me and all the dark romance girlies, we see a red flag and we're like, hey.
So there's a song. We're almost the end, but there's a song by the Toadies that came out when we were kids, and it's like this. Do you mind? It's like this. Make up your mind. Decide to walk with me around the lake tonight. Around the lake tonight by my side. And it's got this really awesome guitar riff. And then at the end, it's I'm not gonna die. You know, it's awesome. Anyway, I got goosebumps. It's one of my karaoke songs. It's awesome.
Nice. That's awesome.
But it is like, it's full. He's a vampire, by the way. The guy who's inviting her out's a vampire. Like, he kills her at the end.
I mean, but did she have a good time? Sorry. I'm sorry. So sorry.
I think so.
so sorry. I'm sorry.
I think it's I will treat you well, my sweet angel. So help me, Jesus. I think that's like the end of each chorus.
Nice.
Those who don't know, put in the comments.
Those who know, no. So basically he breaks his arms and tells him he can't even get healed by a healer. He has to do it the old, slow, sad way. And that was that.
Yeah, that was that.
High Lord, yeah. So it says, and so she's like, that should have probably scared me, but it didn't. I felt great about that, actually.
I think for a young woman who has to commit violence to live, I mean violence like had to hunt, like the reconciliation is like, oh no, this is necessary, it's okay. And also not feeling bad because she knows what that guy did to Moore, and Moore is a perfectly good person, and like she knows that guy's got it coming to him regardless. So yeah, whatever happens, it'll happen, but it will happen.
That is very true. And so that takes us to the end of what we did in the chapters.
Yeah. So my prediction, I got a prediction about the Ash Arrow moment. And then I want to say, another thing. Let me say the other thing first. The other thing first is they should call this a Court of Mist and we're gaining enemies. Because that's all that's happening. We gained an enemy at the beginning.
Anemones?
That's right. And then we gained another enemy with Tarquin. And we gained another enemy, or further enemy with Kier. And we might get, the human queens as an enemy. We're going to try not to. But we're probably going to get some more enemies. And it's hilarious. My prediction for the Ash Arrows is it's not actually... Huh?
You're right. It's like a Court of Mist and Fury at us. Because we were pissing everybody off.
Well, like I told my mom, I was like, okay, so it's called the Court of Thorns and Roses. Thorns and Roses it's part of the plot. And I was like, what do you think a Court of Mist and Fury is about? And she was like, I don't know. And I said, well, mist isn't mist in the air. Mist is what the human body becomes after this one character attacks it. He gets misted. And they do it in the first 3 chapters. Misting is a hilarious attack. Anyway, the Ash Arrows. I don't think it's Hybern. I think that's too on the nose. I think it's the priestesses that support Ianthe. No, that's too easy. We're gonna see Ianthe again. I hate that chick. I don't know. Could be the humans. Just humans being like, nah, fuck your couch.
Yeah. And you know what's fun? I genuinely don't remember. Don't remember right now.
Well, they have to be such good hunters that they can't find the arrows on the ground.
Yeah.
So it could just be Autumn Court people who are like, But if it's spy work, court problems, it could be anything. Mm-hmm. So anyway.
And I genuinely don't remember, so I can't really help or hurt your situation.
All good. I just think it's like, we don't have much left, so.
You don't, because here we are. So this next time, do you want me to tell you where you're going to go to?
I thought I read too.
Don't.
I was at the acknowledgements page. I was just at the acknowledgements.
Okay.
I was like, who's that?
No, but stop it.
What are you talking about? I don't do that. I don't.
I know, but you might accidentally see random things, so don't do that.
I just need to know where we're going to.
Okay, you're going to go. We're reading this next section. We're going to read chapter 43 through 47. So in the paperbacks, we're going 420.
Right to it. We're good.
Perfect. We're going 420 to 463.
All right, so we're this far into the book.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen actually at the end we need to talk about where we'd want to live.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we've seen now 3 cities or 3 areas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so,
yeah.
Like Tarquin spot, the Red Keep.
Summer Court. We've seen Summer Court. We've seen the Hewn City. We've seen Valaris, and we've seen Spring Court.
I don't want to live in the Hewn City. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat.
Nope.
But yeah,
anybody who says anything other than Valaris is wrong. So
just when I think Valaris, I think a lot of purple. Is that me? Like really
Valaris,
deep dark purple.
Yeah, like a purpley midnight blue kind of.
Very much so. Yes, very royal. Very purple.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
because it's the city of starlight, but it's also Night Court. So yeah, I think like a dark purpley violet.
And his hair is like black, but it's like blue black.
Like raven's feathers.
Yeah.
Like so black it's got like a sheen, like a glistening purpley green sheen.
Yeah, like but it's almost blue. Like that's how against the moonlight it looks blue. Yeah. Not like an anime character, but like yeah. I mean, tell me, am I gonna be excited to? I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be a lot of excited, but am I gonna be pumped about this?
So
actually, how many sections are left? That's actually a little question.
You got 4 sections left.
So this one plus 3.
Dope. This one and 3 more, and this one. Okay, great. Okay, good. I was like, did I stop us right when something happens? No, I did not.
Good.
I'm good. I did us a good favor. Okay. So I'm gonna be honest with you, Luke. I think the first part of this next little section, you're gonna be like, "Are you kidding me?" And then I think, as we go to the next end of the section, you are gonna get so amped up and so like that you're gonna want to like run through a wall. You're gonna like Kool-Aid Man it. I think. I'm really excited. I'm
locked in because, I'll tell you this right now. The way you said that makes me think if Reese sends her away, I'm gonna throw a chair. Anyway, that's all we've got for you. So right now, if you like this content, make sure to say down in the comments what you like that they like the most. We had a lot of fun doing this. I haven't even talked to Emily about this yet, but I kind of want to do this live. I think it'd be really fun to do it live where we have comments going. But stay tuned for that because we might do that. I haven't even talked to you about it. Sorry.
I can tell you exactly which section it needs to be. Okay.
Okay. If we do that,
I can tell you exactly which chapters we're gonna do that with.
If we do that, we're gonna let y'all know beforehand. We'll let you know the time so you can log in and give us some shit while we talk about some shit. Other than that, we got other content on the channel. We've got stories and trailer reactions and anime and literally just anything that kind of sparks my interest. And I like to bring people like her in and we just goof off about it because the world's too serious and we need some fun shit. Okay. So if you like this content, please
like and subscribe
and check out everything else. All right. Later, taters.